13 love, 13 ahava, 13 ashad, 13 Hashem, 13 to the Ruach Kodesh within. This video here is dedicated to my brethren Unk, Nine Son, Amaru Bay, and of course it's dedicated to all my Kuzos and TLC. I love you all. I love the ancestors. I love nature. Nature's been so kind to us, and she just sent me some mulberries. There's a little mulberry tree back there, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna have mulberries all summer. Keep getting out in nature, everybody. This video is dedicated to help out Unk's back. It's to help get that monkey off your back. I know a lot of us have experienced back pains, especially with the energy rising up on the planet. So this video is to help everyone with their back pains. And of course, you can always contact me if you have a video request, you want to sponsor a video, and I will give you a little shout out. So without further ado, we're going to start off with a technique I like to call the Rag Doll. And I used to teach this when I would open up a morning yoga class, and then we're going to move on to another similar back exercise, which is going to be part of a Tai Chi routine that's good for opening up the meridians. So here we go. So the idea of the Rag Doll is to use your upper body's weight to stretch that space between each vertebrae. And by relaxing the body completely, you can bend. I know not everyone's as bendy as that, but if you bend your knees as much as you need to where you can just let all of your weight hang forward and stretch out those spaces between each disc, you'll want to slowly think about starting at the base of your spine, roll up one at a time, and just let your shoulders, neck, and head be heavy all the way until the very end. The last thing you do is you roll your shoulders up and back and you lift your head up, and then you can kind of take a little back bend, reach up, and just counter stretch that. Another thing is, on the second time I did the stretch, you notice I wrap my hands kind of around this part of the cranium, and I kind of use it like a fishing weight to weigh down my head. You don't want to tug or pull, but just a little bit of extra weight there can feel nice sometimes on the neck. And then using that just to swing back and forth, and make sure you're not really like using your muscles so much, but you're actually using gravity to kind of swing like a pendulum, and that'll help to open up any kind of tension or like locking in between those joints. So then when you come up that time, you're just kind of hanging on there, and then as you come up, you'll notice that it kind of gives you a little bit of extra weight there, like a fishing weight is what I like to think of it as, and then you come back up. So I recommend doing that maybe 3, 4, 5, however many times you think you need, but go slow. Slow is good. Slow is the best way to do it, and to breathe. And so we're gonna move on to the next stretch here, and it's a little bit more exaggerated version of this. So I'm gonna show you how we start off. We are opening meridians here, and this kind of activates the afro body, right? So the part of you that's not physical. So I'm going to show you how we get started. We're going to use that same technique, but this time we're going to kind of plug our ears, so it's kind of going to feel like we're underwater. And we plug our ears here, and then we place finger over the middle finger, and then we're going to tap on the back of our head. So we're plugging our ears. We do that 4 times, all right? All right, Kuzos, so that was the EGG form, and on that one, it's easiest to think about it, compartmentalize your spine into the lumbar, the lower part, the thoracic, the middle part, and the cervical spine, which would be the top part. And what you want to do is kind of imagine like a roller coaster. And so you want to extend, like someone's got a string and they're pulling your head up. You're gonna kind of extend, and then you wanna, as you're extending up, then you start to creep the head over like a spine, and then it comes back down, or like a roller coaster, right? And so you're coming up like that. And while this part, your head's coming down, then the middle back, you're thinking about that now, extending that and then pulling it over. And then as that's coming over, then you're thinking about the lower spine, that lumbar, and extending that up and then pulling it over. So the first time you do it, don't go so deep. And then as you do it, you can do it maybe 2 or 3 times. And each time you'll go a little bit deeper. Now on your way back up, you think about first extending the spine in the lumbar, and then stacking those vertebrae back on top of each other, just like in the rag doll, except this time you're gonna feel a little bit more of a stretch, and it's gonna be due not to necessarily the gravity pulling down like in the fishing weight, but it's gonna be more like you're actively pushing energy through your spine and strengthening it and stretching it. So you will notice that if you're rushing, you won't feel that little extra stretch, but if you go real slow, you're gonna feel a nice stretch and you're gonna get a great benefit out of it. So don't try to do the back bend part. I just threw that in there to show you that you can counter stretch and do the exact same thing on the back bend, but I always recommend watch the video all the way through, get an idea of what you're working with, and then trust yourself and seek your own guidance and counsel when it comes to what is best for you to be practicing. Research anything you're not familiar with, and of course always feel free to get in touch with me. I would love to help out all my Kuzos however I can. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, and respect to everyone out there that's on the righteous path. And until we meet again, this is Orca Bay with Raman Ka.